FouseyTube is the embodiment of everything that could possibly be wrong with a human being, and he's back and more popular than ever.
Listen! I have mental problems.
This is the wildly unwell 33-year-old man who's taking over everyone's feed like a bull in a china shop. He spent the last few weeks traveling around the country doing a 24/7 sub-a-thon in which he meets up with other creators and becomes progressively more unhinged. And as he falls deeper into this hole of insanity, his numbers go up and everyone around him pats him on the back. This is a person whose sole talent is saying and doing all the things that a normal human being could not even begin to fathom. Not only is he shameless, but violent, rude, self-absorbed, delusional, manipulative, greedy, compulsive, obnoxious, ignorant, self-unaware, narcissistic, reckless, dangerous, erratic, destructive, and cringe, just to name a few. And when you piece everything together, you have a prime candidate for the algorithm to launch into the atmosphere. His entire existence can be summed up by this horrifyingly psychotic series of events.
They all had a meeting. They're sending me the contract tonight. They want me to sign it live to show everybody that I'm staying with Kick forever. You hang up the phone, I'm on the phone with my father, please. You did that, Baba. The reason I'm such a hustler is because of you and because I'm Palestinian and Muslim. Hey! What the fuck? Because you're the most beautiful soul I've ever met in my life, brother. Thank you, bro. Oh my God, bro, you're awesome.
If we assume that his driver has even a singular ounce of sanity, he is both annoyed and scared shitless of this man. There is no doubt that this man is having second guesses about working this job, yet you see him sit there sheepishly playing the role of a yes man for a guy who is well qualified to be put in Arkham Asylum. And that is the fundamental problem. Fame, money, and power override anything and everything. This driver is fully aware that Fousey is deeply unwell, yet he continues to appease him for his own personal gain. He gets to travel around the world, party, be around famous people and pretty girls, and get paid well. Since his only way of accessing these things is through Fousey, he really has no choice but to stick it out if he wants to see his career progress. The sick part is that through constant exposure to the clown show in first row IMAX, he's slowly becoming desensitized to the freak that Fousey really is. And as Fousey becomes more famous and successful, he knows that he'll be getting a piece of it too, making the entire thing easier for him to internally justify. Yet it's not only the people who are looking to make it that are bowing down to this disaster of a human being. As he's traveling around the country doing a sub-a-thon in a mental state that is nothing short of manic, all these other big creators are flocking to him as they simply can't pass up on the opportunity to be a part of the next big thing. Even the incest boys were able to get in on it. Fousey came to their home in Miami and caused nothing short of destruction. Within minutes of walking in, he began talking down to them and then eventually started to flat out insult them.
Do you guys suck each other's dicks or is
Definitely not. That was a popsicle, bro.
He then proceeded to throw water and assault some of the other creators at the house.
Fuck. God damn it. Beta said, hey. Yo, you're a bitch. The whole. You talk like a bitch too.
I slapped the dog shit out of you.
After terrorizing just about everyone, he stormed out of the house in a manic fit while the incest boys were literally begging him to stay.
Hey, fuck, don't leave, homie. I'm leaving, dog. Nah, fuck this fuck. I didn't like him the second I got here. He's a pussy.
The entire thing was a drug-fueled cesspit of 8-bit, shameless man-children who claimed to be influencers and part of some sort of culture. He then proceeded to go terrorize some other Florida natives like Sneeko and Lil Pump. He spent the majority of the time with them incoherently yelling and trying to touch and kiss other men.
Ah!
Nico.
Bro.
Which was periodically interrupted by a compulsive vape hit. And despite the fact that everyone knew this man was unwell, they couldn't argue with his name or viewer count, so they spent the entire night tolerating his insanity. Even some more respectable figures who you would think would have the decency to not fan the flames of this dumpster fire went out of their way to encourage this man's self-destruction. Fousey finished the night by going back to his hotel for the grand finale, in which he severely overreacted to a threat from a troll and swatted himself.
Send the cops. There's a gun to my head right now. There's a gun to my head. Help, ma'am, he left. Ma'am, he left. There's a gun to my head. Help, get them. Help, bye. Ma'am, Intercontinental, what's my room number? Help, tell me. 2020.
He actually pretended he was being held at gunpoint so the cops would come. When the cops actually showed up, he manically yelled at them as they tried to cooperate. With really no other choice, they arrested him and took him away.
You guys are literally dumb as fuck.
And like the sick person he is, this only furthered his delusions, even going as far as to pull the race card.
My life is in danger and you arrest a Palestinian Muslim who's viral? Are y'all dumb or are you stupid?
The entire time all of this was going on, tens of thousands of people sat and watched this guy lose his mind and make a fool of himself. Not a single person around him made an effort to tame him, while most actively encouraged him. And this speaks to the fact that this man and his sort of behavior is a product of our culture. We see time and time again that there's no limit to what these people are willing to do for attention and money. No one really cares about holding themselves to any sort of standard, as it'll just get in the way of their success. When it comes to us as the viewers, we simply just can't help but watch as these people portray a life that we really don't get to see anywhere else. And due to the nature of the internet, it's really easy for us to become disconnected from what's actually happening on our screens. We forget that these are real people living in the real world. We forget that their actions have real consequences. And because everything is overly sensationalized on the internet, it becomes harder and harder for us to find entertainment and content that's more grounded. If it's not something that's crazy or shocking, most people just scroll right past it. And as a result, most creators understand they must play by these rules or else they'll fail. The state of most content creation now is just flat out war for attention. As people become more desperate to succeed, they'll stoop to even lower levels to make themselves stand out from the rest. And other creators will react by trying to outdo them. The entire process will repeat over and over until everything becomes too shallow and shameless for viewers to stomach. At that point, genuine and honest content will stick out like a sore thumb, which we can only hope will bring everything back down to earth.